Through Friday, I do it till it doesn't fucking matter because I get up at 5 o'clock. So.
Right.
But on the weekend,
well, the reason I like it is just the vibration sound on the nightstand is brutal.
Well, I need it because of the watch, which I don't have on right now, but I don't want a notification to go to the watch while I'm sleeping.
You know what it is for me? It's the nights where like you're trying to go to sleep and you're just getting a barrage of NBA updates or like NFL free agency and the Schefter notifications coming through 50 at a time.
That's how it used to be for our DM chain, where it would just be like, I'd look down and be like 97 notifications.
That's got to be muted. Yeah,
it's long muted.
We got an ownership update coming right now, so
Dope.
We seem to be good. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Awesemo.com NBA Strategy Show presented by Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. I'm Dave Loughran at Loughy_D on the Twitters, LOUGHY_D. For those of you podcast listeners out there, joined by Josh Engleman at Josh Engleman, breaking down a 6-gamer, 6 p.m. start time tonight. What's going on, bro?
Not much. I've been waiting desperately to start this show. Because I get to talk to you. I don't care at all about any of those 6 games that are going to happen today, because this is the anniversary of the 2015-2016 Warriors led by the Barnacle of the Bay going off on the fourth quarter to take out the Celtics from the 2K tournament.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously. 15-16 Warriors 58. 07-08 Cavs 51. The Barnacle of the Bay goes nuts in the fourth quarter.
That was March 27. Was that 2 years? That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Wow. For anyone that's been with us for a minute now, maybe not the real OGs, but it could be, or just anyone that some people found us during the 2K Sims. Like, you know, I hadn't even, they were just looking for something to do. That was one of the great, like, despite how shitty all of that was, we had an absolute blast doing those Sims shows.
The Barnacle of the Bay, baby.
I still remember getting up out of my seat and running around my office.
Yeah, I was going crazy in here. I was probably drunk because we didn't really have anything else to do. But
there was no probably. I'm pretty sure we were. Yeah. We had like a neighborhood quarantine. So everyone from our neighborhood would hang outside. You know, we'd bring a fire pit out front onto the sidewalk. Just like, kind of trashy style, but nobody cared at the time because no one was going anywhere. And
I just moved into this house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like that week.
Like if quarantine didn't end, I think everyone in my neighborhood would be out of a job. They'd be up 150 pounds, you know, like it was one of those times where you'll never do in an odd way. We still talk about this a lot. Like it was one of those things that you wouldn't want it to keep going, but it was kind of an experience that you'll never live again, ever. No. I'm saying in the sense of like for me, like the quarantined neighborhood parties for two straight months.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I won't be able to do that when I'm 45.
No, probably not.
Right.
I don't know. You just need a little one to get to college. Your next chance to do that is high school or later. You're gonna have a hard time being wrecked every day when she's 9.
You know what's funny too is it's funny you mentioned that. Jordan has the pinned Zoom link in our DM, right? Yeah. And I usually I could just click on it from pin, but I accidentally clicked it. So it went back to when it was, like when the original post was.
Yeah.
July 23rd, 2020.
Insane.
So Jordan's been with us for a minute now too.
Yeah, I know. Time moves too quickly. It's kind of crazy.
Happy to have you guys with us though. Yeah, those shows were wild. Not sure said. Not only that, like they were sponsored by FanDuel, and I mean, you had a couple bangers in there where you know how just low key Ben is. Like when you said something, he'd want to laugh, but he wasn't sure if he should laugh. And I'm not looking at your expression. I'm just watching Ben the whole time, see how he would respond.
Yeah. What was going to happen? We didn't have anything going on.
Yeah. Black Main said supposed to be social distance. Well, we were all outside, man. We're all outside.
Yeah.
None of us got COVID until I didn't get COVID until 2022, till the Omicron.
Nothing. Yeah, COVID doesn't want this smoke, man.
It's because you don't leave the house, though.
Not true. I jam myself into Liverpool bars cheering for soccer every chance I get.
Yeah. Or you did have it and you just never knew. It's also very possible.
Certainly possible.
I mean, Omicron was wildfire. You know,
I'm the type of person that when they get sick, it sucks. So I don't feel like I would have
really bad. You had the flu really bad a couple of years ago. I remember, like you were on death's door.
It was right before COVID. It was 2 months before that.
Maybe it was COVID.
Yeah, that's what I've always said. It was Christmas. I
did. It came here in like November, for all we know. Right? They traced the first.
Katie was at those Boston conferences.
Huh? Maybe you had COVID. Maybe that's why it was so bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe you were
I've never felt like that before in my life. If that's COVID, I hope everybody never gets COVID because that sucked.
Yeah, maybe you had the original. You saying COVID doesn't want this smoke. Watch, you were like one of the first to get it in America.
Zero. I'm Randy Marsh.
Everyone blames Rudy Gobert. It was Josh Engleman. All right. And I'm kidding. Obviously, Rudy Gobert was not the actual patient zero. But and you remember
Stephen Leibowitz said it. Josh gave COVID to Gobert.
Oh, yeah. There you go. And you remember that Contagion movie, like just dropped on Netflix and people still. That was a hell of a time. Anyway, happy to have you guys here on a Sunday morning. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. Get it to 100 out of the gate. Subscribe to the channel. We're nice, 74,800 plus. So less than 200 away from 75K. Man, we're doing big things around here.
We are indeed.
And subscribe. And hit that join down below if you want the free super chats each month, custom emojis, those sweet badges. Got some people iced out for their 1 year Always prioritize your questions and comments along with our premium Discord members as well. So get in on that if you want to get in on that. If not, that's cool too. But yeah, man, I was, and we'll get into some basketball in just a second, but I will say, like, when that happened, it was a pretty scary thought because it's like, yeah, okay, you work from home and everything. And sure, sports will come back at some point. I was far more optimistic than all of you. I said it would be back in a few months. You said it'd be done for a year. You were just glass half empty, doom and gloom. But it was pretty scary at the time, where I remember Ben gave me a college basketball game to tail him on. And it was like the last one there because they didn't end up doing March Madness. Remember they canceled the game at halftime?
I do.
Yeah. And like hockey and then or baseball or basketball. I remember coming out of my hockey game and seeing the Rudy Gobert thing. I was telling all of my buddies, I was like, this isn't going to be good. This is before that. And they're all like, whatever, dude, this happens all the time. They're kind of right? Swine flu, avian flu, all that. It never materializes. And then the Gobert thing happened and you find out that the league is shutting down indefinitely. And you're just kind of like, all right, what's going on? It was a wild time. I'll
be honest though, when that first, and I'm sure it was a DK alert that popped up on my phone. That's just how I think it works for everybody at this point. That popped up that the NBA was temporarily suspending the season per Shams or Woj, whoever actually got it out there first. I just remember being like, well, either sports never come back or spring vacation. It was spring vacation. I didn't realize how bad it was actually going to be, but I was pumped. I already worked from home. Like, I wasn't super worried about it because I lived in a place where it wasn't really important. I know that's like, I don't mean it to sound ridiculous. It's just like,
I know
it's not a walkable town. I'm not jammed into people. I'm already spread out. I already work from home.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I was
Nothing
the
was
same
changing
way.
for me.
I was the same way. Yeah. It was something, man. But ultimately, like, you look at it, the fact that they pulled the bubble off was really insane. If you look back on that, and you know what? Credit those players too. Don't get me wrong. I get it. In the beginning, they were having a blast. Who was it? Who was it that was
Myers Leonard got real into bags.
It was Leonard, the shotgunning beers, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
he was shotgunning them in like ice baths and stuff.
Yeah. They were having a blast at first. They were fishing. I remember Andre Drummond was out like fishing and stuff, and they're playing golf and everything. But then it was like, okay. I remember some of them. One of them, I think, left with like mental health issues.
Oh yeah, I mean, Daniel House was bringing in people out of the woodwork and hooking up with employees of the Disney campus and all that kind
Someone
of crazy
brought
nonsense.
Strippers or escorts in, didn't they?
Didn't Rashawn Holmes get suspended because he ordered wings?
Oh, and he went to pick him up and he broke the
he walked
bubble.
out of the gate. Yeah. And they were like, no, like, he really did this and it's a problem. But yeah, he wasn't doing anything dumb. He just got food and left and picked it up.
Yep. Kobe said the people that organize the bubble need to get hired by the government. No, I'm good on that, bro. I mean, you want to do a sports league, that's fine. They ain't locking me in a bubble. That's crazy. But I do agree.
The Awesemo bubble.
Do agree the government is, they find problems for every solution. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Jordan Klein producing today's show. He looks cold. Look at this guy right now.
Well, apparently he was just knocking back 800, frou-frou martinis yesterday.
No.
So it might be a tough day for him.
Some milk teas. Are you hungover, Jordan?
I am very hungover. I had
hungover yesterday.
Yeah, I had lychee martinis. If you ever have if you guys have ever heard of one of those.
You already told Josh.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the stuff you drink. If we're just being complete, everything you tell me, I don't know. I guess you're too upscale for
I don't know. Yeah, it's not upscale. It's like you got to up culture and stuff. I'm not saying you're uncultured, but
I am. And I'm kind of proud to be uncultured.
Yeah.
I don't really. When it comes to for me, being cultured is I do what I like to do. I do I guess you could just call me impulsive. It would be fair.
Lychee martinis. Ugh, nothing sounds worse.
No,
Jordan, how old are you?
Saying, do I want to be cultured?
Jordan, how old are you?
27.
27. I'm 27. I'll be 28 this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well, Obviously.
At that time, I was just drinking as many 16-ounce PBRs as I could find. And you're like, oh, I need obscure fruit martinis.
That's what I'm saying. Right. That's exactly. I mean, the milk tea, the boba tea, which I actually looked up. There are several of those places within 10 miles of me. So maybe I'll try one.
It's super common. That's why I was really surprised that you didn't at least just know what it was.
I told you I'm uncultured. Jordan said it, didn't like took it back, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Anyway, yeah, he had the hood pulled up like it was just his last day on earth. The hood, but then the sweatshirt pulled up over his mouth. All right, 6 games, Josh. You ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So we got Phoenix hosting the 76ers. Did we get our ownership update yet? Let me just see if it came in.
We did.
We did. Okay, good. We're good to go. So Phoenix hosting the 76ers. Sixers 4.5-point dogs. Should be a fun game here.
Yeah.
Still can't believe that spread on Phoenix the other day.
All over it, dude.
Yeah, all over it. And everybody should have hit that. I DM'd you too. It was crazy. You were sleeping. It was third quarter was over, and Phoenix is shooting 60% from the field, and they're losing after 3. And Booker had 43 because the Nuggets legit couldn't miss. They were 58 from 3, and then fourth quarter, Suns pulled away from that one and won it easily in the end. But
do you know what the line actually closed at?
1.
It did.
Yeah, it closed it with Suns +1. Yeah. So
there you go.
You're getting great. But when you get that type of movement on a spread in an NBA game, without like anything even that notable happening, because it's not like Chris Paul was ruled out and then in.
No.
Yeah, you have to take it for sure.
All over it.
Do you think we should be targeting James Harden today?
I do think we should be targeting James Harden today. 9,900 on FanDuel, 10K on DraftKings. He's pulling a little bit of ownership, nothing crazy. I actually like him a little bit more than what our ownership shows, particularly on FanDuel. Shooting guard, small forward too. He's just he's really easy to get to. I don't think he's the best pay up option. We'll get to a couple of those in a bit, but I'm certainly interested. I mean, really, it's just Harden and Embiid. You can get a little bit of Maxey if you want, particularly on FanDuel at 6,300. I don't project him well. 0.77 fantasy points per minute. We're talking about below average usage, not too much of an assist rate at this point now that Harden's here, but even still, it's a minutes game. And I think there's enough minutes there for Maxey to still provide some value, at least bigger than the 3% ownership he's showing on FanDuel.
He still has it. Yeah. It's just, what are you willing to pay for him on DraftKings?
I mean, it's not like, would I pay this on a 6-game slate? Would I be mad that I got shares of Maxey today at no ownership? Absolutely not. I wouldn't. 7K is a lot. I mean, we're talking, you're going to need like 45 out of him. That's hard as the third option. If you maybe you want to say that he's the fourth option, up to you on Tobias Harris,
and it's hard against like a top, third or fourth. They're basically interchangeable at this point. I think you'd agree on that. Yeah, Harris and Maxey in terms of just like usage right now. But
yeah, I mean, I have them both at the exact same usage. I have Maxey as a more efficient shooter.
Yeah, he is. Tobias Harris just isn't that good. But
where is he going to be next year?
I don't know. Hopefully not Philly.
I don't think I think Daryl's going to cut him off like a
how many years left on his contract?
Too many.
He's on a max.
Yeah, too many years. I already forgot his name. Tobias Harris. I started typing it and immediately just stopped in my tracks.
Not surprising.
He has 2 years left, 38 mil a piece. I mean, it's 37 and 39, but you get it.
Phoenix is kind of interesting though, because Chris Paul is 66 on FanDuel still.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton on DraftKings is 6,700. So some of these guys are, and by the way, Cameron Johnson's out. JaVale McGee is out today as well. Do you think, and I don't necessarily know how much weight to put into this, but do you think with JaVale McGee, who's dealing with an illness, sitting, I was going to say, do you think you get more minutes for Ayton? But it's not like McGee was playing. He played 9 and 10 minutes over the last 2 games anyway.
No, I just assumed that they throw whatever McGee was going to do to Biyombo and call it a day. Biyombo flat minimum 3K. Now, if Ayton gets into foul trouble, Biyombo can be a little bit interesting, but I don't think it's anything too crazy to write home about. You pointed out Chris Paul's price on FanDuel, 6,600. He's pretty clearly the best option you're going to get to from Phoenix. Ayton's probably pretty close, but just $6,600 Paul doesn't make a ton of sense. The guy that I like the most, though, in this game is actually Mikal Bridges on DraftKings. He's 5,700. That's $900 cheaper than he is on FanDuel. We're talking about a guy that plays like 38 minutes a game. He's not a great per minute guy. I got him at 0.82 for today, but you just take that playing time on a day like today. I assume he hates Philly and wants to beat them a little bit more. Not that I care about narratives or anything like that. It's not changing anything, but it makes me feel better knowing that he could have been on the Philadelphia 76ers and just isn't. And
he
not
was.
pulling as much ownership.
He was for about 30 minutes.
I mean, technically he never was, but yes, he was.
You know what I mean.
Briefly drafted and traded.
And he was so stoked. Him and his mom were like,
his mom works for Philly,
crying tears of joy. And then they go, we like Zaire Smith.
Yeah.
What?
And then he got some sort of disease and lost 40 pounds.
Oh, that's right. And then he had the toe or the foot thing too. Yeah. There was the Philly first round rookie Kurtz where they just wouldn't play their first season.
Well, yeah, they were either drafting them knowing they wouldn't, or they got hurt immediately with Fultz, obviously Embiid, Nerlens Noel. Okafor played, but it obviously wasn't going great for him out of the gate.
No.
Speaking of Okafor, Dukey's baby.
What's that?
Duke, Carolina, potentially next Saturday in the biggest game in college basketball history.
Nah, St. Peter's, dude.
If Carolina loses to St. Pete's tonight, I'm going to be so pissed.
The thing that's going to suck, and by the way, how many games do you think Zaire Smith's played in his career?
24.
13.
Oh, okay, worse than that.
First round pick. 13. Anyway, the thing with St. Peter's, what would happen is if they were to win and get to the finals, get to the championship, they just get annihilated.
Truck
and
sticked.
It's the what?
They'll get truck sticked.
And it'll be the worst game ever. It's okay, fun run. And now the game that everyone's been waiting for is an abomination. So I love the Cinderella stories. I think it's great. I think you don't have to, but if you don't think it's great what's good is they get eliminated in the Final Four or something, but it's good for the tournament. There's no doubt about that. To have these Cinderella teams, it's good for the tournament as long as two good teams get into the finals.
I honestly don't know.
Really?
I've never I don't know if they're more likely. Okay, so put it this way. I'm guessing, and this is probably a unique spot since it's going to be potentially Duke and Carolina, but let's just say that instead of St. Pete's, Carolina was Michigan in this example. So the winner would play Duke. I think the nation would want Michigan to win from a ratings perspective than St. whoever the hell it is.
St. Peter's?
Sure. I'm guessing it's still better for TV ratings if it's the good teams.
Here's the thing, though.
I don't know if that's true, though. I don't know.
For someone like me that really doesn't even watch any college basketball games, I legitimately don't. I think I've watched maybe 2 of them so far in March Madness. It's just, I don't, whatever. I mean, I'll watch the championship. I'll watch, some of these games coming up. But for me, this one tonight between UNC and St. Peter's is actually interesting to me, because they're a 15 seed.
Wow. See, I'm looking at it the opposite way. It's only interesting to me because if Carolina wins, they play Duke. I don't give a shit about St. Peter's.
So to me, it's super interesting if St. Peter's wins this game and knocks off another top seed that.
It ruins the entire tournament if St. Peter's wins today.
Why?
Because then we don't get Duke versus Carolina in the Final Four. They've never played in the NCAA tournament before. This is Coach K's last year. This is the biggest game in the history of college basketball. For real college basketball fans, I could certainly see that. But that's what I'm saying. For me, I don't really care about any of that history. That's all. That's ridiculous.
Why would I? Why would I care? I don't know about that. I don't care about that. It means
nothing. You care about a crappy team that no one gives a shit about always.
Yeah.
Winning one additional game for nothing.
I want chaos.
You're crazy.
I want chaos.
You're crazy.
Sure. I guess. I'm not saying it'd be good for ratings. I'm just saying I don't care about Duke and UNC. Plus, their name is the St. Peter's Peacocks, which is, I mean, that's just spectacular. What state are they? Remember, St. Peter's University in New Jersey, in Jersey City. What?
Yeah.
Huh.
You less likely to cheer for them now?
They play at the Run Baby Run Arena.
Of course they do. That sounds like something God would want their school to be named after.
Their head coach is Shaheen Holloway.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me like him more. I love that guy. All right.
You should. He's actually kind of cool. He's not going to be their head coach for the moment they lose tonight. He stops being their coach and starts being the head coach at Seton Hall.
Is that true? I never heard of him.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I don't know why anybody would care about St. Peter's. I don't get it.
because I just like seeing good teams get knocked off.
That's insane.
And everybody.
Can you imagine being like, oh, I really hope Oklahoma
shit.
City sneaks into the play-in and wins a round. Be like, no, they're awful. I want the best teams to keep winning.
You know what? Now I want St. Peter's to get to the championship and lose by 50. That's what I want. Just scorched earth.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just saying. Now you've pushed me. You've pushed me to my limits, and I've decided that now I just want nothing good for anybody. I'm going straight nihilism. Nothing means anything. Life is meaningless, Josh, and it should be meaningless and torturous for everybody. How do you think about that?
You're the worst.
What else do you want from Phoenix? Like McGee or not, even though he's out, is Ayton still? I think he's still viable on DraftKings at a mid 6K price point, even going up against Joel Embiid and company.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ayton and Bridges the most from Phoenix on DK. I like them more than Booker and Paul for today. I just think there are better options than Booker and Paul, and that price, those price tags in other games.
Thomas Kane. Josh is a Catholic basher, typical Brooklyn hipster. I didn't think about that. It's because it's a Catholic university that you hate that.
I'm Catholic.
No, you're not.
I have been confirmed.
You're a faux Catholic. What's your confirmation name? Go before you can make something
Julius.
Up. Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Did you go to CCD?
Yes. Up until 8th grade.
Okay. When's the last time you've been to the Catholic Church?
Whenever someone dies or gets married.
That's what I thought. Next game, Minnesota and Boston.
Never lived in Brooklyn in my life.
No, I don't think you're a Brooklyn hipster. I don't even think you're a hipster.
No, not so much. No, I'm not trying to drink oat milk out of a gourd or whatever bullshit they do.
Hey, Jordan would make for an excellent. I feel like he is, in some sense, a hipster.
Yeah. You don't wear enough
martinis and milk.
Yeah.
Just preposterous.
Do you have like a woodworking shop on somewhere in that apartment of yours?
A lathe?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you make like novelty soaps?
And he's making novelty soaps in Birkenstocks.
Yeah.
Like you got to wear the Birkenstocks.
He's got a craft pickle company that he's been working on.
For sure. And like probably trying to figure out a way how to brew IPAs.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Like the IPA is always, what'd you say?
A Leashy IPA with boba tea in it.
All right. Yeah. The people that only drink IPAs are your like all-time hipsters. Like they're your, this day and age hipster is like IPA only. I prefer
it if I'm honest. I like them. I prefer the taste.
Like I said, I'm uncultured.
I also prefer to just not drink beer at this point.
I haven't drank a lot of beer lately either. I love, not that this is beer. High Noons are fantastic. I'm just telling you right now, they're try them. You have to get them from the liquor store. They're awesome.
I don't know what that is.
Try them. They're good. They're expensive, but it's worth it. Minnesota, Boston, Malik Beasley out. They're 6-point dogs, 228 total here. Beasley was getting decent minutes before this injury, but excuse me, I had a leftover breakfast from yesterday this morning, a bunch of pancakes and eggs Benedict and a whole lot more. And it's coming up, but we're going to make it through this. The Patrick Beverley is getting the most ownership here. And then you've got just like a smattering of similar projected ownership of Edwards and Russell and Vanderbilt and Jalen Noel, given that Beasley's out here. Can we just start with the top price guys? And I do want to just throw this out there to you because Towns is only getting like 8%, but DraftKings has kind of dumped the prices on a lot of these Minnesota players.
Yeah, I like a lot of Minnesota here. And I normally wouldn't against Boston, but we're seeing the ownership coming in, and I totally agree with it. On FanDuel, Edwards, Russell, Beverly, and Vanderbilt are all 18 to 28% owned. And I think all of that is fully warranted. I think Vanderbilt is like the guy that I'm most interested in, but I hate getting to. Edwards is the guy that I like getting to the most. Russell's 5,700. I don't really know why that price exists, but he looks good. And it's the same situation on DraftKings. Are they owned a little bit less? Yes, it's like 15, 15, 15. Then you get to Beverly at 29. I think that 29% for Beverly is a little out of whack, but it's a $4,600 price tag. So I don't really want to get away from it. I just want to play a lot of Minnesota. And the weirdest part of it all is the guy I want to play the least is their unquestioned best player.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards.
No.
I know.
Josh
I think
Okogie.
yeah. There was a period there where Okogie was getting a ton of run back a couple of years ago when everybody on that team was hurt. Like everybody was hurt. That was back when, God, was that when Butler was still there?
Yes.
Was Rose in Minnesota too at one point?
Yes.
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but you remember when all their guards were out?
Yeah. I mean, well, he was playing a lot just in general because they thought that he was going to be like a defensive stopper. I mean,
right.
Former first round pick, former lottery pick, I believe.
Yeah. That's true. So I think when it comes to Boston, we might have a little bit to talk about here, Josh, because Al Horford is out today. Now, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both probable, but Grant Williams probably gets the nod. He's close to six or close to minimum salary. We've seen him get those starts when even if it's Robert Williams out, you'll just get Horford at the 5 and then Grant at the 4. But he should start. And then Robert Williams is 6K against Minnesota. Let me say though, Minnesota defensively has been a top 5 defense since the All-Star break. Or since the trade deadline. They have played much better defense, but at the same time, it's hard, really impossible for that matter, to get away from this Boston front court, given that Horford's 30+ minutes are out of the rotation.
It's hard to get rid of anything or to get away from anything from Boston here. Minnesota is the fastest team in basketball right now. Boston, in my metric, is 24th. They gain like 4 possessions above their average. Whether you want to go to Tatum, 9,400, 9,600, one of my top 5 plays of the day. Jaylen Brown, 7,200 and 7,900, one of my top 5 plays of the day. Time Lord, Robert Williams, 6,800 on FanDuel, and he has the power forward eligibility. Just 6K on DraftKings, fully warranted at 38% ownership. He's probably the best overall play of the day. Grant Williams is priced up a little bit on FanDuel, still looks good at 4,400. 3,600, small forward, power forward, probably playing 30-something minutes. Looks incredible. Marcus Smart still looks really good, although he's definitely my least important guy of the 5 guys. But for Tatum, Brown, and the 2 Williamses, the I don't know how to say that properly, just play them a lot. You're not going to find spots better than this.
The Williamses?
It's Williamses.
But it's so weird.
I know.
I've always found it strange to put like an ES in the back of something like that.
Agreed.
It just doesn't look right. But I think it's the only appropriate way to do it.
I think
Jordan's shaking his head. All right, my cultured son, please tell me what is the correct spelling of that.
It's just Williams, and then there's just an apostrophe after the
No,
S.
that would be
that's ownership,
no,
dummy.
That's possessive.
Ah, damn.
What are 2 Williams?
Right.
Williams is
Williams.
Not if we're talking about like the Williams team or something, then you would say, it's the Williams apostrophe. It's their
this guy. You need to
get
the regular martinis.
He was confident too. He's got that hangover brain fog, feeling good.
Maybe it's like deer, like Williams is plural and singular at the same time. Or like fish.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think it's like fish.
I think it is.
They're not. No, we're not talking about like a species, like multiple from a species.
We're not?
No. We're talking about a name.
Kyle Brown said
Williamses.
gaggle of Williams. Yes, a murder of Williams. An exaltation of Williams.
Man, Jordan was really over there, wide shakes of the head, like, nah, you guys are idiots. I want to wrap up Boston and then get to a couple of other games here, which is kind of what we're supposed to be doing. Do you think there's any additional value that we can get to, or is this mostly because to me it feels like just the starting five are all viable and then it falls off a cliff?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take shots on Derek White, he'd be the only other guy that I would really care to get to. Otherwise, it's Tatum, Brown, the Williams is as a top four, Smart a very clear fifth for me, and then Derek White is like sixth.
All right. Yes, you got to win a tournament tonight, just so you can see he took it down with the Williamses.
Yeah.
Golden State, 7-point favorites, 219 total in Washington. You know, people who say it like that, that's the worst.
Yeah.
My friend's dad, it'd be like, hey, Pat, sweatshirts in the wash. God damn. Just.
No, it isn't.
Do you hear yourself? Golden State.
How did I mean, I know how it does. I know how this happens because
how do you add an R to an essay?
How do like teachers let that happen throughout school? But it's probably because your teacher probably said it too.
Right.
Like,
well, it's big.
I know where that's getting said, and I know how many more people in the class are saying it the exact same way. So
yeah,
that's not a one-off. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. Or the people that just put like an R on the, like Minnesota.
Yeah.
Just strange stuff.
There's nothing worse than when someone wants to make up their own language.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. I speak a dialect of English.
It's unproductive and unbecoming of one. The Philly area, it's huge, is Wooder. Wooder's a big one around. You know that.
Yeah. I'm very familiar with that one.
Like, I'm just going to take the A, replace it with an O and a D. Yeah. But my dad said Wooder.
Water.
Not me. I escaped that mess.
Yeah. Now I say it correctly, like a normal person.
Well, yeah, water. Right. Of course. Do you like the Warriors today? Oh, let me say, I've been waiting for the Klay Thompson game where he just breaks out of that and starts raining down threes. Yeah. What a nice thing to see. It's not going to happen every game, but he's been super streaky coming back from that, prolonged injury. Many of them. Last game, he just went nuclear and had a huge game. Meanwhile, Jordan Poole was still fine in his own right. But the thing that's amazing about this dude is he's attempted 13 threes in 4 of his last 5 games. So if you're just talking about 3-point volume and the 3-point bonus on DraftKings, you're getting games out of Jordan Poole with 5, 7, 6 3-pointers made, jacking up 13 a game. And he's still like 7,700 almost feels too cheap for the minutes he's playing.
To me, it is. He's very clearly the best option you're going to get on the DraftKings side at that $7,700 price tag. I have a little bit of interest in like Wiggins or maybe even Gary Payton now that he's back, but nothing too crazy there. I think the only real priority on the DraftKings side is Jordan Poole. Klay at 8,200 is just a little bit too healthy for me. On the FanDuel side, though, I think it's a little bit easier to get to Poole again at 7,700. He also has shooting guard eligibility in addition to the point guard eligibility. Klay is $700 cheaper than he is on DraftKings. That makes it a little bit more appealing. Wiggins is $6,100. He's $500 cheaper. I think he's a little bit more interesting. And then we got to talk about Draymond. I don't know how many minutes this dude's going to play today. I don't know what he's capable of playing. I don't even know if he's going to be any good. But he is 4,900 on FanDuel, and he's power forward center. And you can't ignore that. He's the most owned guy from the Warriors today on FanDuel, and I agree with it.
All right. You said devolves. Yeah, it is devolving. You look at some of the words that are being inserted into the dictionary now. It's like, man, what have we become?
Yeah.
The older I get, though, the more just I find miserable I am. So, like, I'm happy and I thoroughly love life, but I'm a lot more cynical, right? I think that's fair to say. I'm very cynical now.
There's just too many people, and that creates too many people at the extreme side.
All right. So you're advocating for population control?
I mean, I've been advocating for that forever.
Like going forward, or just start cleaning up the mess with what we have now?
I mean, I'm not going to just now. I didn't take the trash out before, but now I'm going to start. No, I'm going to clean it out already.
Oh, okay. So,
I'm Team Ben Raza here.
Okay, so we're going in. We're okay.
I'll be Ben's running mate.
Yeah. We're going to treat the problem. We're not going to try and prevent it going forward. We're going to do both.
Do both. Yeah, we're going to do both.
Okay.
We're going to do
one day I'll ask you how you would get started on that.
I mean, there are very easy ways to do that, and they're not even going to be tied to anything super negative.
Okay. Well,
I think we could lop out a Billy almost immediately, like without even having to really put a lot of thought into it. And I got a sneaky suspicion I'm going to lose a lot of people that I know.
I'm not going down this rabbit hole with you right now.
I mean, it's totally blind to every sort of thing that you could normally think. There are way bigger distinctions that we could just wash our hands with.
One day when we haven't taken up a lot of time already, we will revisit this for sure.
The only time we will ever revisit this is when we get to have another YouTube channel that won't get us thrown off of YouTube.
Okay.
Can't happen on this one.
Okay, it's like that. All right. Well, that's good to know. Washington, we saw last game, they shook the starting lineup out, shook up the starting lineup. Howell Neto did not start. Did he even play?
No. Played like 5 minutes.
Oh, no. He didn't play at all.
I was thinking about what I have him projected for today.
Yeah, no, he didn't even play.
No, he's fully out.
So that leaves us with some decisions to make here, right? So that game was what, the 25th of March. Does that affect anybody enough to say, you know what, maybe they're viable today? Like a Thomas Satoransky, who played almost 30 minutes in the starting lineup, replacing Neto.
Yeah, I think Sato looks really good here, assuming that it just continues like it did. Point guard, small forward eligibility on DraftKings, so you could also put him in at guard, forward, and utility. He is very clearly, to me, the best option you're going to get to from Washington just as a value play. You know, if you want to take some everybody else just sort of looks the same at that point. I think you need every one of those 32 minutes from Porzingis to feel a little bit better. But if you tell me like Rui, if you tell me like Denny, if you tell me like Kispert, if you tell me like KCP, I don't have an individual that I just want to like prioritize over anybody else. I'm fine with all of them. I don't think any of them look all that great to begin with.
Anybody else for Washington?
Great work there. No, I don't think so. There's just not a real priority anywhere on the Wizards outside of assuming Satoransky starts. That just becomes an easy value option.
Hit that thumbs up too. Maybe get to 200, almost 500 people watching. Almost 500 people watching on a Sunday morning. Great stuff. If you're coming in from church, maybe a little brunch action, we got you. Can always listen back. Might be tough on this one, but you can always try.
I love brunch.
El Negro Loco, me too. El Negro Loco, thanks for super chat. Happy belated birthday, Loughy. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. And no wash, Josh. No wash. Oh, and no wash, Josh, talking about washing hands is funny. Yeah, well, he's an honest man.
It's not no wash. I'm not anti-washing my hands.
You're just infrequent wash, Josh.
Oh, in my own home, yes.
Yeah, in your own home. Okay. Mike Campbell, why are the Suns only laying 3.5 to your Sixers, Loughy? I saw it as 4.5. Did it?
I had it as 5 earlier.
It's at 4 now. So you might be asking the wrong question. Question would be, why does it keep moving to the Sixers? Because the Sixers actually
it opened at 5.
Sixers actually aren't nearly as bad as they looked against the Nets and stuff. Like they still have Joel Embiid and James Harden and a good defense. That's why. They're still a good basketball team. All right.
And no matter what anybody thinks about how that trade went down, they got better.
Yes, right. I'm not saying they're going to go out there and win the finals, but they're still a good team. What do you think? They shouldn't be like 8-point dogs in Phoenix.
They have the 9th best point differential in the league.
Yeah, they're a fine team. Fine, not amazing, not bad. Tell you what is amazing though, this deal with Yahoo Fantasy where you get a free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum for simply signing up using the link in the description or the one that Jordan Klein is about to throw in the chat right now. That's all you have to do is click that, sign up, deposit $10. They'll give you $10 back in free play on top of that. So that's sweet. That's free. And enter a paid contest and we will email you, get you set up, free month, $90 value, every single thing on the site from ownership to player projections to top stack tools, boom bust tools, lineup builder. If you want to get the Fantasy Cruncher add-on, you can do that as well. All of our articles, everything, you name it on the site, you got it for the month, not just basketball, baseball, hockey, MMA, PGA, NASCAR happening today as well, esports, and if you want to kind of expedite the process, get in quickly, maybe you want to get in on some NASCAR action this afternoon, use our top driver tool, use our ownership, our driver projections, all that. Email us at Awesemo or support@awesemo.com after you deposit and enter a paid contest, and we'll expedite the process, get you set up. But Yahoo, for real, has the best payout structure you're going to find over there, the lowest management fees, rake on other sites, and some great content. So it's not just about signing up to get the free month. It's actually taking advantage of a site that has got some really good contests out there, good pay structures, and they're not taking as much of your money in these contests, which is always a good thing. Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports sponsor of the Strategy Show. Got to use the link, though. You want to get that free month. All right. Where else are we going here, Josh? We got Lakers and the Pels. So Lakers, yeah, I know. LeBron James, questionable. Dwight Howard, for whatever that's worth, questionable. I'm assuming you have LeBron in right now.
Correct.
So against the Pels, it is not like this is a bad spot at all for LeBron James. I mean, it's actually a very good spot in the event that he plays.
I like him a lot more on FanDuel than I do on DraftKings. 11,200 on DK. Like, he's getting 18% ownership. I don't see the appeal. To me, he's wildly overowned. I'd prefer to get to a lot more of the pay up options. He's still only 1.4 fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days. I say only. It's not as if he's just been like putting the team on his back and he's been playing above his head and all that. Like, he's just been himself. In my model, he's a 1.41 guy. In this game, I got him at 1.41. In the last 30 days, he's 1.41. He's clear across the board, the same guy, no matter how I'm looking at him. I don't understand why he's owned as much as he is on DK. Makes a little bit more sense on FanDuel just because of the way that rosters are built. And after that, I don't want anybody from the Lakers.
Okay.
They just look terrible. I don't know who's playing half the time. You get DJ Augustine playing 14 minutes one day, 22 the next, and then Melo plays 30 and then 20. Just don't play anybody.
If
maybe
LeBron
a little bit of LeBron.
What if LeBron sits?
Obviously, we're way more likely to get to Russ. That's not fun. Melo probably becomes a lot more interesting. 4,400 on FanDuel, 4,900 on DraftKings. THT, if he ends up in, he's 3,900 on FanDuel. Wenyen Gabriel probably looks a little bit better. We unlock a lot more value from the Lakers if LeBron is out.
Yes, we do. And the Pelicans, on the other hand, you had Brandon Ingram was actually questionable yesterday and ended up not playing. So I do think there's a chance that he plays today.
Yeah.
We haven't projected,
I put him in.
Yeah, we haven't projected in right now too. Our ownership projections, our player projections, he's in all of that. He's in the boom bust tool. That just CJ McCollum, this is a really good spot for them. The Lakers have been terrible against pretty much any position, any player. But if Ingram does come back and he's not limited, now you're looking at like $8,600 CJ McCollum with Brandon Ingram back on the floor.
Yeah, so I still like CJ. And like I said, I have Brandon Ingram in. I like CJ on FanDuel at 7,800. He's $800 more expensive on DraftKings. To me, he's fine at that spot. I don't really have any interest in Ingram on FanDuel. 9,300. That is an impossibility on a day like today. 7,500 could be okay. I just don't think he's going to play his normal run. I gave him 30 minutes. I don't know what Ingram coming back does to the Jackson Hayes at the 4 minutes. he scares me a little bit, but might be a little under-owned just the way that things are breaking. Normally you face the Lakers and you end up looking a little bit better from a DFS perspective. I don't think that the Pelicans look very good outside of maybe CJ on FanDuel.
Okay.
I think this is the worst game on the slate.
I will say, though, that the Westbrook triple-double props have been appealing to me lately. I've been on the double-double props. He is seeing a lot more potential assists, like a lot more touches. His role does appear to have changed a little bit. So
yeah,
you want to get frisky. He's probably like 10-1, the triple-double.
God, I hate him.
Yeah, but I'm willing to take some shots there. Sprinkle a little bit. We'll see.
I mean, it's not. Oh, you mean if LeBron is out?
No, I mean,
okay.
Which game? What was the last game LeBron missed? It was just a Philly game, right? Because they haven't played since then. I could pull up his potential rebounds and his assist opportunities, but his last 3 games, he triple doubled against Toronto. He had 10 and 8 against Washington, 5 and 11 against Cleveland. Like if I'm getting it at 10-1, just he's been playing differently lately, and he's been playing more minutes. So yeah, we'll see. But if LeBron is out, then yeah, I think you're not getting nearly as good odds if LeBron is out.
Absolutely.
Right. You're probably getting, honestly, triple double for Westbrook's probably like 4-1, maybe 3 plus, plus 350. I don't even think it would be anything crazy. Do you? If LeBron's out?
No, it would be a relatively reasonable line. Like hopefully you can get to it before it flips over. It's right. Really the easiest way to say
it. Joe, free super chat. Any other props you like tonight, Loughy? Honestly, dude, I haven't even looked at any of them. I've just been paying attention to how Westbrook's playing lately, and it's been different. So if I do, I'll throw them out there on Twitter, but I haven't looked yet. All right. Nothing else from this one, huh?
No.
All right. We got till April 1st, Josh, to get 25% off the annual MLB pass just using the promo code Trout. Everything in the MLB for the entire year, 25% off the annual pass. Not bad deal.
Can't beat it.
Really can't. Trout or Awesemo.com/promo. Our MLB tools are sick, like legitimately sick. Top pitchers tool, the top stacks tool I reference all the time. Ownership, player projections, all of that stuff. Lineup builder, like we were talking about with Yahoo, for the entire season is 25% off if you use the promo code Trout, or just go to Awesemo.com/promos and click that button. You have until April 1st, then it goes to 15%. I think it's good through the 11th, but the early bird is now 25% off the annual pass is going to save you a ton of money. And I don't think there is a single better MLB product out there than the one that we have. So MLB annual pass, 25% off. Use that promo code Trout and join our Discord as well. Get in on the office hours, especially if you're maybe new to baseball, but you want to get good at it. Have the pros help you answer all of your questions. God, look at that graphic. Look at that bulge.
Looks more like a minnow to me.
Oh, yeah. You've seen bigger.
If we're going to talk about Trout.
All right. Let's go. What do I have next? Is it Charlotte or
what do I have next?
Charlotte and Brooklyn. Well, the game order is different on certain space. Charlotte 7-point dogs against the Nets, 239 total. Guess who's able to play at home tonight?
That would be Kyrie Irving.
That would be Kyrie Irving. Look at that. Some might say he won. Some might say he lost.
I don't think they're going to say that he won. He didn't win or lose. It was meaningless, and nothing that he stood for mattered to anybody. That dude's just in his own head.
People will find ways to politicize both sides of anything, right?
And it shouldn't be either side.
Then they balkanize, and then they just hate each other.
Like I'm not mad at him for what he did.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying like the raging debates over all this shit.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he's playing tonight, and that's all that matters, right? So
it's very true.
Now that he's back home, like, I think we all had a feeling that Kyrie Irving would be back before the playoffs for home games. We all kind of said, he'll be there. He'll be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason that he's there is because baseball's coming back and there are way more unvaccinated Yankees and Mets.
That's true. And it also coincides with the playoffs for basketball.
Yeah, if baseball was still locked out, I'm not so sure that this one happens.
Maybe.
There's just there's less public pressure. Nobody cares then.
Yeah, I guess.
You should play Terry Rozier on FanDuel today.
What's that?
You should play Terry Rozier on FanDuel today.
Yeah, you've been saying that because he's been consistently pretty cheap. He's 64 still?
$700 cheaper than he is on DraftKings. He's 36% owned, but he should be 1.15 fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days. So he's been playing better, as has Miles Bridges, but his price is about where it should be. I kind of just like everything from Charlotte. I'm going to have Rozier a lot on FanDuel, but after that, Bridges, Ball, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee to a degree, 4,400 on DraftKings, Cody Martin, 3,900 on FanDuel, 3,500 on DraftKings. I think that works decently as a value option. I want to get to all of it because Brooklyn's defense isn't very good, and this should be a pretty fast-paced game. 238 total was what I had. I think you have 239 on the screen. I mean, that's the highest on the slate by a mile.
239, and I think you could go kind of, as you were just saying, you could go to plenty of spots for Charlotte. None of them are going to be, other than like you're talking about Rozier on FanDuel, but if you're looking at DraftKings, none of them are just absolute clear smash spots.
Right.
But from Bridges down to Rozier, Lonzo Ball, Plumlee's really cheap. Like Plumlee's weird because if he's having a decent game, you could see him get some additional minutes, or he could only play, 22 minutes and still have a decent enough performance. But the ceiling on him isn't terrible in a spot like this. So there's a million different ways to get to Charlotte and just mix and match with this team. Like you said, 239 total is huge for this slate when you look at what it's compared to. Yeah. There's a 219, a 216, and then a couple of other pretty high ones. But yeah, this is a fun game. And now you've got Brooklyn. I mean, the other night, James Harden, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, both of them just exploded in the same game. I think that was against Memphis. Yeah. And you see this happen with them. Just because, one of them goes up doesn't mean the other one can't, but neither of them are particularly cheap. So you're going up against the likes of Luka, Joel Embiid, LeBron James if he plays, and then you've got guys like Durant, Irving, James Harden, Jason Tatum. Can you prioritize either of these Nets guys tonight in a great matchup, but still pretty expensive?
Not really. I mean, Durant is 11-1 and 11K on FanDuel and DK. Nah. Kyrie's 10-8 and 10-5. Nah. We didn't talk about him yet, but I'd rather have Luka over either one of those guys. I'd rather have Embiid. I'd rather have Harden. I'd rather have Jason Tatum. I'd rather have LeBron than KD or LeBron than Kyrie. I would have thought that I like them a lot against Charlotte. They're just too expensive for what they do.
Do we look towards anyone from Brooklyn then would be the big question here. Like Drummond is still, I know, I think you were just talking about a couple of these, but is Drummond at 5,600 with LaMarcus? Wait, is LaMarcus Aldridge? No, he's still out.
Yeah, we don't know. They're on the back-to-back, so we really don't know.
No, but hold on. I thought I saw.
He's going to be coming back shortly, but we don't know anything for them today because they played yesterday.
No, but Steve Nash said Saturday, so yesterday, that Aldridge is lined up to return to game action next week. So I don't see any way we don't consider him out.
Yeah, I mean, I left him out for right now,
okay.
But we have no idea.
Okay.
I'm not worried about him. He doesn't change anything to me. I think he basically just takes Nick Claxton's minutes and we call it a day at that point. Only guy that's really interesting to me from Brooklyn is Drummond. 5,500 on FanDuel, 5,600 on DraftKings. He's a 1.3 fantasy point per minute guy. That's the guy that I would take the biggest shot on. That's the guy who has the biggest ownership on both sites. I don't really want to get to a ton of Drummond. I mean, I mentioned him before, but Drummond is 5,600. He's going to play like 23 minutes. Robert Williams is 6K on DraftKings. He's going to play like 33, and he's the same guy. So just play a lot of Robert Williams instead.
Do we want to play a lot of players from the Utah Jazz going up against the Dallas Mavericks? I'm honestly surprised that this game doesn't have a lower total than it does. I honestly thought it'd be even lower than 216. Dallas playing at the slowest pace in the league. They're quality enough defense. And then Utah just, not one of the fastest teams either. This game should be a slog fest, Josh. Doesn't mean we can't get to some places, but it should be a very slow paced game compared, to the rest of the slate.
Yeah, there are no priorities here from Utah. It's, play the guys that play 30 plus minutes, Mitchell, O'Neal, Gobert, Clarkson, Conley. I don't want to get to the value of guessing on someone like Juancho Hernan-Gomez. I think the best option that you're going to find in this one is $8,400 Mitchell on FanDuel, but even that's still just like a 20%er. There's not a specific thing from Utah that stands out as a guy that you should get a lot of.
All right. Well, we were told that we needed to get to the games. We were taking too long. We were talking about mind you, usually that's just one or two people. Everyone else enjoys the Sunday vibe, but look what time it is. We made it.
We did.
We always make it.
And boy, did we talk about a lot of random stuff today.
Yeah, we did.
Whew, all over the map.
It's kind of fun. It's
the only way I'm going to get through a Sunday show.
And then when you get Jordan and Klein in the mix as well, it makes it more fun because he's a fascinating character as a producer. Right? Like he shakes his head no, but Jordan, I'm telling you, man, it is some interesting stuff. Plus, you're like 8 years younger than me, and you're doing things I could never have dreamed of at that age. So
what, like drinking lychee
milk
martinis?
Tea and lychee martinis, yeah.
We should let the show just run a little bit longer. Let Jordan hang out for a bit more.
We should. I'm always about that.
Yeah.
Every time we
just go up until NASCAR live before lock.
Let's do it. Every time he's in the good current state to do it. But every time we have done a show where Jordan's been on it, it's always gone well. Like he did
not for him.
Well, relatively by my standards, by like an entertainment standard, absolutely. What was the one that we did a couple months ago, Jordan?
The Super Bowl rankings, right?
Oh yeah. Like the halftime show rankings. That was a blast.
Yeah, that was fun. I passed out, blacked out on my couch after that.
Jeffrey said if they don't enjoy the superfluous rhetoric, they can find something else to do. Hell yeah, brother. Solid use of superfluous. All right. I have one more thing to do.
Is it asking me about Dallas?
Before I get to Dallas.
Okay. Is it breaks again?
It is breaks of God. Fantasy sports fans, what if you caught a break with the potential to net a couple $100,000 with less than $100 investment? Oh, you're listening now, huh? Well, we have great news because breaksofgod.com is the place to catch that break. Breaks of God is the latest sports card collecting trend to catch fire in America. And it's just like the arena last night in Toronto. And it's how sports card collectors of all ages are building high value card collections without huge investments or risk. It has quickly become a popular and economical way for sports fans to get potentially high value or rare cards without having to buy $1,500 boxes or cases themselves. Crazy. From football to baseball and everything in between, there are many slot options available for under $100 so you can get in on the big money action. Breaks of God box breaks dramatically increase your odds of getting big money premium sports trading cards for a fraction of the cost of expensive, hard to get boxes. All the cards are broken from sealed premium boxes live on Instagram, and the cards are shipped directly to you for free when the live break is over. Now, slots are limited, so act fast. To learn more about how you can hit big money cards and get 30% off your first break, go to breaksofgod.com/A30. That's A30, breaksofgod.com/A30 and get 30% off your first break. Also, Josh, where should they be sure to follow them on Instagram?
That would be at Breaks of God.
That's a good one. All right. Breaks of God, sponsor of the strategy show. Let's wrap this one up. By the way, I love how chat now, it's just, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Spelled differently on with everybody.
Breaks of God is the new YSRPs.
It's good. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good stuff. Breaks of God. All right. Oh my God. Let's talk about Dallas and get out of here for the day. We'll let Jordan go lay down for a bit. Is this your only show today, Jordan?
No, he's got everything.
Oh, you're just here. That face. That's great. I hope you just put producer Cam up for that. All right. Talk to me about Luke. Yeah, he did. He did. Talk to me about Luka Doncic and the rest of this dismal team from a fantasy standpoint.
Yeah, Luka's my preferred pay up option here. 10-3 on FanDuel looks great. He's pulling the ownership and he completely deserves it. I got him at 1.54 fantasy points per minute here. 39% usage since Dinwiddie's been here. 44% assist rate. I'm even happy to get to him on DraftKings at 11.6. I know that's a big tag, but I think that he's the best pay up option. Unless you consider Jason Tatum a pay up option at 9,600. That matchup kind of changes it a little bit, but I love the idea of getting to Luka. It's a good matchup for Luka in particular. Just the way that he plays, like Utah doesn't really have a great setup to slow him down. After that, I probably am not doing too much else with Dallas, whether you go to Finney-Smith or Bullock or Brunson or Dinwiddie. All those guys are okay options. No real priorities. Luka Doncic is the clear star here.
Who's your favorite high-end play on this slate?
So if we're considering like the 9K range to also be in that, it's Jason Tatum on DraftKings.
Tatum?
Yeah, he's 9,600. He gets that Minnesota matchup, and he's been playing so well as of late. But Luka would be my second option. Luka's my favorite option on FanDuel for sure at 10-3, and I think he's second on DraftKings. So it's either Tatum or Luka.
Honestly, a little surprised that you don't like LeBron if he plays in this spot against the Pelts.
I mean, what's there to like?
Who's your favorite value play? There's not a lot. Obviously Grant Williams, but there's not much from like Mason Plumlee's cheap, but volatile player, good tournament option. Any other value that you think is really good right now if news doesn't break?
Yeah, it's Grant Williams and it's Satoransky, I think.
Yeah, Sada is a good one too.
It depends how high you want. Jared Vanderbilt's 4,300. That's not bad. If we're talking about like sub 4K guys, it's Sato and it's Grant Williams.
Okay, good stuff. Jordan, you got to break till 2:30 at least, right? Or 11:30 your time. What's that mean?
Yeah, I have like an hour break. So I mean, I just sit down for like 45 minutes or something?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't run laps. But I'm saying this show's over now, and then the next show is not for 3.5 hours.
Is it? There we go. I'll take it.
Yeah,
NASCAR Live Before Locks at 2:30. You don't have to do anything until 2 o'clock.
Oh, there you go. Oh, cool.
You could take a solid 2.5 hour nap right now and feel reinvigorated.
Definitely gonna brew some milk tea though before that. But, yeah.
Wait, you brew it?
No, I don't make my own, but
Oh, okay. I was gonna say a little liquid IV and you'll be good to go, man.
Go get a real IV.
That is something I feel like Jordan Klein would do.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like very close to you.
Yeah.
From a location
it's probably downstairs.
Standpoint.
No, I'm just gonna hit I'll hit the steam room in the sauna and I'll be good. Yeah.
Jordan's like the guy from Billions that just has him come to him.
Smart.
You ever watch Billions?
Never once.
Oh, okay. But where you have the nurses come up with the IVs and they get you going for the next day. Yeah, you got some time, man. You'll be all right. Sending you my love, brother. I know the feeling. And we got NASCAR coming up 2:30, live before lock. We got deeper dive for NBA at 4 to 5, live before lock from 5 to 6. Josh and I'll be back here live before lock tomorrow. That's been fun.
We'll have a good time tomorrow.
We will. And then of course,
what's the schedule look like? Do you know?
What's that?
9 games tomorrow.
Okay. Not great, not bad. We'll take it.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the final 2 weeks of the season, so let's make it worthwhile. Appreciate you guys taking your time on a Sunday to hang out with us. Hit that thumbs up. 3 until we get to 200. That would be great. And follow Josh at Josh Engleman, me at Loughy_D. Shout out to our boy Jordan Klein. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Peace.